Hey, 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 here we are, here we are, here we are. Hello, everybody. Oh, man, week 10. A little nostalgic, wasn't it?
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. What's the 10th anniversary? What material is it?
Rock.
Rock. Like it.
Well, I mean, at least Vic reeled us back into a bit more of the reality of what the show was about. You know, we got back to our roots and to our music where you had taken us on a tangent, Rat, and, you know, to do these concepts and let's shoot some of them in the Bahamas. And I was always, you know me, guys, I was always a little bit hesitant.
Well, I'm sure that the audience knows you well enough to know that might be your version of events. Also, I'd like to point out, I stood in for 1 week, so I was late to the whole party of concepts and making it all white and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know who the real mastermind is.
Hey, Scott. How you doing?
There it is, Scotty Hagen. Hey, Scotty, you know what you should do? You should start a show on Roxie TV that talks about vinyls and LPs and records. I think you should do that immediately.
I think it's a great idea.
In fact, didn't we talk about that a couple weeks ago? Because I don't know any other network that has a show right now on the web that would just talk about record albums and vinyl and stuff. I think it's a good idea, Scott.
I think it is too.
I feel like maybe we even have it documented, that intellectual property a few weeks ago.
That idea. I mean, well...
Yeah, because weren't we discussing we were discussing vinyl packaging on the show like 3-4 weeks ago, and that's when you said to Scotty he should do the show. I remember it.
I feel like we made it sound really classy as well.
Yeah,
it was really
well. We were gonna. I mean,
cool.
But you know what? It's a cutthroat business, and I guess you got to move quick. I mean, who knows? For all we know, Henry Ford had some guy named, you know, Chuck Schumacher, who already had invented the car, but you know what? Henry Ford went right in and did it, so he got the credit. But you know what? I've always found it's always good to be the second show that does it. You know, the second, because the first guy, we've all seen Saving Private Ryan, and when that first initial boat thing goes down, you don't want, you know, nobody wants to be that guy. But the guy behind him, I think, did pretty well and did successful, and he went on. He went on to have an actually really successful record store, from what I heard.
And also, if you look at all kinds of things, like all throughout the world, there's always the pioneer that kind of does it, and then there's the guy who comes along and goes, I could do that better, and then has the real great success.
All right, for everybody out there, hello, welcome to our after show Q&A. Obviously, we're just giving a little shit. We're just stirring it up, stirring the pot, because well, wait a second, Vic, go back out. How does everybody like the background? Everybody think that's cool?
Yeah, it is cool. I didn't notice
something that we thought we'd add to the show tonight. What do you think? What do you think, Vic? You're wearing a green shirt. I'm wearing a green shirt.
I'm wearing a green shirt.
Well, not so much.
Is it green?
Yeah.
Most people say that's blue.
Yeah, it depends on what camera you've got, but it's
definitely
green in real life.
US we call that blue.
Like, how much more green can this be? And the answer is none.
Well, guess what? Vic got his first welcome back charity donation for Vic. You know what? All of that is yours, Vic. You got it. All right. The team is forfeiting it all. He got a raise, actually. Are you familiar with the term "half of nothing is still nothing"?
Yeah.
So yes, that's our motto.
Well, thank you, Liz.
No, thank you so much, Liz. That's very cool of you guys. Welcome, by the way, everybody. Week 10, Scotty, you were in the chat. Dave, we did give you a little bit of a ribbing about the SLS Fest catastrophe that happened, but I thought the show was actually really well done. I thought it was really well done, and it was a lot of me, you know, it was a lot of my drum beating to get that thing happening. Again, thank you to Owen and to Nita Strauss for coming on the show and putting in their parts. Nita was an amazing sport about it. And then there you go. That was it ended up being a good time. But honestly, now that we're sort of finished up with the Kickstarter campaign, it feels like I mean, I obviously want to jump into the production of it, and that's where Robby and I come in, because we're actually meeting, me and that guy down there in the corner, Robby. We're going to meet and do the tweaks that you guys have suggested all throughout this whole process and start filming and production. I actually went to the location, guys, earlier before the live stream. I was down at the filming studio to check it out and see how we're going to dress the studio. So hopefully it'll look great, and we're excited about it. But what did you do with your day, Robby, so far?
I have been working on, actually I've taught a couple of guitar lessons today, and working on some more System 12 stuff. And I had so much fun doing the campaign. I think we should just do another one, just for the heck of it. Right?
Now, come on. Slow down. Scotty Hagen, besides thinking of amazing ideas like starting your own internet vinyl TV web show, what have you been doing your day? And you're in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Representing Detroit. So what have you been doing all day so far?
Well, we're getting at Rock City Music Company, we're getting ready to kind of not reopen to the public because they won't allow us to do that yet, but we are preparing our store to allow people to shop by appointment. So we've been getting all the gear that's been showing up in the meantime, getting displays built, taking care, cleaning up. It's amazing how messy a store can get when there's nobody in there. And
as far as I know, it's not just a music store, because it is a cool music store, but you also have some records there and vinyl there as well.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I brought the owner of the shop is a good friend of mine, and he always wanted to build his record department. So when he brought me in, we really built it up. So there's a record shop within a music store in this place. So we have it all.
So just to be clear, you work at a vinyl shop, so you would be the authority for this show to talk about vinyl. It seems to me like a really good fit. All right, that's all I'm saying. So anytime you guys, anybody's in the Detroit area, Vic, put up that graphic of where the store is again. I think you have that.
Come on.
I'm not going to make him do all that. But just tell us where it is now, Scotty.
If you're in the Detroit area, we're located in Livonia, which is one of the Detroit suburbs, and you can always just hit me up and I'll guide anybody in.
What's the name of the store?
Rock City Music Company.
There it is.
Yeah.
So we don't want any internet shows coming out in the next week on any other channels called Rock City anything. All right. We've now, hey, Robby, you get some love there too. All right. Thank you, Liz. There it is.
Thank you, Liz.
These are personal shout outs to each of the Roxie Guitar Armory, the RGA.
Liz, you had a request for a shout out too.
Hey, what?
During the show, Sasha Smith.
Oh, Sasha. Yeah.
Wanted you to say something to her.
Well, hey, what are you here now, Sasha? If you're here now, let's get you on the show and I'll give you a shout out on the screen. If you want to send a DM, there it is. What's up, Sasha Smith? How you doing? Big shout out to you, good brother. What's going on? Hey. So now you're making me there. Yeah, I'm back in the group. Here's someone that took over the chat today. There she is.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, you got to meet Bianca today. She was the one that sort of steered us back to the music after the what do you call it? You just went rogue. And with the director's skills,
train wreck. They call it a train wreck.
Not a bad.
Hey, you know what? Like normally in this industry, you have to fight to get credits for things you did do. You're giving me credit for something you did. So hey, yeah, I did. It was all my thing. I masterminded the lot.
It was my concept. You made it into a reality. You really did. You took the reins and you just rode it like a bucking bronco the whole way. I love it.
On that subject, I do have a shout out as well. Donielle Barrett, she, I don't know whether it was a mix up or what, but we got the wrong clip from her for Kumbaya last week.
Oh.
And I just wanted to say, I said last week, if I find out who you are, I'll give you a shout out tonight to make up for it. So I want to thank Donielle Barrett for submitting her clip last week. And here's your shout out now. So thanks for taking part, even though it was the wrong clip. So.
Right. Well, hey, Felix, there you go. Welcome to the stage, Roxie, on the blue stage. 20 Swedish crowns, very nicely done. And he wants the solution. You know what, though? I have I not done the solution yet?
I think you did.
I might have done it
Yeah.
acoustically. So
Yeah.
that's maybe not. Maybe I should whip this bad boy out and play it electric. Because actually, should we tell them the concept that because we're going back to the concept? Actually, you know,
Well, but it's a
because-
music concept.
because it's week 11 right now, and I think is it just me or does Vic look very frozen? He got
Of course, he's frozen.
yeah, he got frozen. It's
Yeah.
okay. But folks out there that are watching, we have a concept for week 11. And who knows, after that, there might be a like sort of wrapping up of season 1. We didn't think about it earlier until we did the podcast with Adam Slack and the Struts, because there's Sunday service. They are wrapping up season 1 tonight. So we thought maybe we could do one episode longer, 11 episodes. How about this? The concept is all black. This episode goes to 11. You like it? And then
Love it.
and then there's so many things. Fade to black. End of season 1. And
Are
then
you
who knows?
gonna play? You gonna play "Lick My Love Pump" though?
I'm trying to get him to play something.
There's rumors. There's rumors. Hey, you know what? This is kind of a cool little concept. Then we'll ask the chat, which Spinal Tap song would you want to hear?
Sex Farm.
I have the
Sex
idea.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have the
yeah.
idea. I have the idea in my head. It's gonna. I don't know if we can make it a reality, but I will play a Spinal Tap song. You guys suggest it on the chat right now. All right, and then by the end of this episode, we'll have a much better idea. All right. Well, there's a bunch of them. There's Hellhole.
Mhm.
Sex Farm is always a big
Working
one.
on a sex farm.
Hannah Cope, Big Bottom. Hey, that's
This is a good idea. If we
I've
all
been-
got a bass and did Big Bottom.
well.
I can handle that.
I was down at the filming studio, and I have 3 of them at that studio. I was at the filming studio. I have 3 basses down there, and I'm not a bass player. A GMP Tele bass. I have a Gibson Firebird bass, which is insanely. You saw how cool that one is, and I also have a Fender Jazz bass. So I have the 3 best basses in the world, and they're what Sex Party? That's
the other band.
That's the other band.
That's Tuesday.
Yes, which is a good segue. Sex Farm, yes, but Sex Party is the Choir Boys. And I was going to keep this really suspenseful story about why are they now called just the Choir Boys, and back then they were the London Choir Boys. And then, of course, spoiler alert, somebody on the chat just blurted out the answer. I don't know who could it have been. What
David.
Playing
You
the
are-
role of Mike Fasano today on our Q&A will be Dave Rattenbury. No, we're not gonna beat you up. We're gonna.
Hey,
Where is
hey,
Mike
Mike
Fasano?
Fasano, man?
He
That's
should
not
come
a bad,
on.
That's not a bad compliment. You know.
No, that's a great compliment, actually. You know what? If Mike was watching right now, we'd bring him in the backstage. Spinal Tap tonight. I'm gonna rock it. That's a nice one, Brian. That's a good choice. But moving on from Spinal Tap, which is way next week. We're going up to Tuesday, our live stream in the Trenches podcast. And it's going to be with, well, should we have him talk about it? Should we just, I think we have a clip.
Hello everyone, this is Guy Griffin. Hope you're all well and safe. Just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be guesting on a podcast this Tuesday, the 26th of May at 5 p.m. UK time live on In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie. If you go to Ryan Roxie Official on YouTube, we'll be there, and we'll be swapping a few stories. We've known each other for many years, and I'm sure it'll be quite a fun chat. I'm really looking forward to it, so hope to see you there.
Yeah, how about that? Well, thank you
Nice.
very much, Troy. Our weekly allowance just came in. Very nice. And thank you very much, Guy Griffin, because Troy, you're going to be there on Tuesday. You're going to get to see Guy Griffin from the Choir Boys. It's going to, I think, guys, quit taking me out of full screen. I'm a little self-conscious. You know how much I like the full screen, but I think that's our first sort of endorsement ad. I think that Robby, did you put that together? Who was able to pull the strings for that?
Well, I thought it was Robby.
Yeah, I messaged Guy and said, would you be up for this? And he said yes straight away. He was really excited about it. And I obviously know that you and Guy go back quite a few years as well, Ryan. So, and he plays in a great band.
Yeah, he does. 2
great bands as well, the Choir Boys and Joe Elliott's Down and Outs. So it's going to be a really cool show. I'm excited.
Here's the real juicy inside scoop is that Robby and Guy come from the same town outside of London, and that's how you guys. It's a village basically, and and it's you, Guy Griffin, and John Oliver. Am I wrong?
No,
I thought it was a shire.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, so we're from a town called Bedford, and I grew up going to watch the Choir Boys in Bedford. Whenever they always do a very special hometown show every year, and I would go to their shows all the time. I also went and saw the Choir Boys when I was 10. Okay, here's something for you: at the Cricketers Arms, which was a warm-up show before they went and played the Monsters of Rock at Wembley, and Jason Bonham was playing drums for that gig.
And what was the Cricketers Arms?
The Cricketers Arms. Don't look for it; it's not there anymore.
Now, there's no way that was a pub. Right?
I swear, dude. Absolutely.
It's nothing. It couldn't be anything else but a pub. What are you talking about?
Probably, yeah. But it was So they're a Bedford town band, and there's been many a night in the pubs catching up with Guy. And of course, Bedford clings on to the fame of John Oliver, who is also from there. Yeah, yeah.
Well, check this one out. Kitty Oates from Australia said there's so this just adds to the mystique, to the controversy, So then it debunks Rattenbury's theory. So he debunks it right out of the gate. But I know it's a different spelling, so we'll get to the bottom of it on Tuesday. Let's have some intrigue. Aw, thank you, Liz. Thank you very much.
That Choir Boys Australian group in that Kitty is talking about are actual Choir Boys.
Yeah.
Release.
Do they act like Choir Boys?
I think they sing the hymns and all that kind of stuff, right?
Church folk.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only problem with them though is they don't make a lot of money because the fee has to be split 27 ways. Aren't
you guys glad that I don't split the fees that way at all? Basically, because it's so much. I do it for you because to split it that many ways, it's just it's so much of a hassle.
Yeah, 5 ways is weird. Splitting something 5 ways is really strange and hard to do.
Wait a second. Did everybody get paid for? And thank you very much. It's all because of you guys that are watching right now. But everybody got paid for our Los Angeles interview that we did, right? The Los Angeles podcast. Everybody in the Los Angeles did. And hold on, everybody we got a little fun together. And we all contributed. Scotty doesn't know about this, but you're part of it. You contributed to
more than anyone else, actually. Scott.
Yeah. We at least got asked.
We contributed for Vic's birthday dinner with his wife. Now, have you gone on that birthday dinner yet?
Not yet. We've not left the house really, but we'll be leaving soon.
But there is a new watch on Vic's wrist.
I used all that money and I bought this cup of coffee, actually. It's very nice of you guys. I appreciate it.
No, it's very nice of these people all the time. Wait a second. Who was it? It was Troy. Troy that gave us our allowance. I love Troy, baby. Anyhow, getting about bad boys and choir boys in this. Are we sort of the bad boys of the internet? Is that what we are? I mean, would you consider?
I think Scotty is.
Scotty's well, he's from Detroit, and those were the original Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Which leads me, who's been watching? Because I haven't seen it yet, and I really want to watch it. I want to see who on the chat has been watching it. The Last Dance. Have you guys seen the Michael Jordan Netflix show? You've obviously been hearing about it, right? The Chicago Bulls movie that they've just released. I guess it's on Netflix, a bunch of miniseries.
Robby,
No?
it's the round orange ball.
We have to explain what basketball is to Robby first. Oh shit!
He was looking like he was stunned. He didn't know the sport.
It's part of the sport.
Michael Jordan. Michael, wait, what was the name? Jordan.
Yeah, an Englishman living in Canada. But actually, you know what? Canadians are pretty good at NBA. I think they won the championship, didn't they?
Can I raise a practical question? Just going to a completely different sport. Baseball, I believe it's called, is the World Series.
Yes.
Apart from America,
here we go,
and maybe one Canadian team. I don't know how many other countries from the world are in that series.
Japan, I think.
Canada.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's 3. Japan really in it?
I'm sure I read somewhere.
Do you guys still call yourself a British Empire? Empire, really?
No, we do
not.
No. Please stray far away from that as quick as we can.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm going to say thank you to Amanda Peters because
I am too.
You guys keep going on about these ball games.
Hold on, I want Amanda Peters.
Sport
Put
ball.
that back on if you can. Robby, can you please play some Kiss right now? Please do. So how about this?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he's gonna put it on.
You got to turn it up.
Can't hear
Turn
you,
it
bro.
up, baby.
Can't hear you, bro.
Hey, bro. That's the line of the decade. Nice, man. Was that the Eric Singer era, or was that Ace Frehley, or
I think Eric Singer era would have been like double kick drum.
Wow, a little Eric Singer going off on, man. Wait till Stefan reports back to Eric Singer. That's gonna be hell to pay, baby.
I really don't think Eric Singer's gonna care. Something tells me Eric Singer's gonna be like, well, he does have that song "Take a Smile," but I'm not gonna worry about it too much.
There it is. Nice plug on that too, as well. Wow, man. I am like, currently, I am like, I'm drawing a blank right now, and it's not cool. It's
You
not
know what you
cool.
should talk about? System 12 guitar method at Gmail.
That's what I should talk about, but I want to go back to, was it because my whole line was that the Ace Frehley era, or was that the Tommy Thayer era? And everybody wants to talk about Tommy Thayer possibly coming on in the trenches. I think, would you guys out there in the chat like to hear Tommy Thayer in the trenches? Would you like to bring him in the trenches? If you did, then yeah, I would too.
Can we?
Well, you know what? I know I ask you guys all the time on the team that's on the screen, who's your dream sort of in the trenches artist and performer and just all around talent? Let's ask the chat. Who would be some good in the trenches sort of cadets, Hey, Ashley
O'Neill, come on.
Thank you very much. You know what, Ashley?
That's nice.
We would actually like to thank Ashley. Vic, you should thank Ashley and have an amazing dinner, because Ashley is very, very, very.
Thank you for dinner, Ashley.
There you go.
Ashley doesn't realize, but she's actually fed me my packed lunch every day the past week. Thank you.
A packed lunch.
From one Canadian to another. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Scotty, when you were growing up in the tough streets of the Detroit suburbs, did you actually have packed lunch, or did you go for school food?
Packed lunch. My parents were extremely frugal, and like my mom even made us a lot of our own clothes.
All right. Did you made your own clothes?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had pants and shirts that were made by my mom.
So
They
you
look
had
good. She's a great
a
seamstress.
Chad Cherry before it was like super hip
Yeah.
to have a Chad Cherry.
Yeah.
All right. Now I was going to say brown bag because for me, my mom was also a bit frugal. My dad wasn't in the picture; he was gone by that time. But my mom was pretty frugal with the money, and she actually would take me to Gap instead of Levi's. She would get me Gap jeans instead of Levi's. Little did I know, like 20 years later, Gap was supposed to be the cool brand, and kind of like that was going to be hip. But yeah, I was raised on the Gap, which was not cool back then.
Fall into the Gap.
We morphed into J.C. Penney after a while.
Oh yeah,
And
right.
Sears.
Can you Sears, J.C. Penney? There was a couple.
Kmart.
They've all gone under pretty
Yeah.
much. I think you guys. I mean, I don't really want to talk about all that kind of bad financial crap.
Way
But
to bring it down to a screeching halt.
I was waiting for people to ask about great in the trenches guests, and there we
I
go.
posted
Sean
several up
came in.
there.
They kind of have been though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in.
Yeah.
You've got your readers on now. You can read these comments.
Here's one if you want to reach.
I was nostalgic. Oh my God, Johnny Depp would
Easy.
Yeah, easy,
Yeah.
easy to track down too. I'll have his assistant fax his assistant, which will then put smoke signals up. Hey, Mark Denzeisen, what's happened? I should actually just have Mark Denzeisen on because he would actually be a great interview on there as well because he has so much history. And he's such a talent. But yes, Vic Campbell would be good as well. Vic Campbell has been in a lot of Viv Campbell. You're right, Vivian Campbell. Vivian Campbell had quite a history. You're moving them too fast, man. You're going too fast. I want to talk a little story about Viv Campbell.
Okay, sorry.
But you can't find it. Hey, Scotty had something completely prepared about Vivian Campbell. He was going to go through his discography and with the bands he's been in before, because I know him currently as Def Leppard's guitar player. But what bands was he in before, Scotty?
He was definitely the guitar player for Ronnie James Dio for like at the start of Dio's solo career.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
I'm not sure before that though. He was pretty young when he joined that band.
How quickly is everyone going to Wikipedia?
I have a
Tell me.
You know what? We're getting into Cribia territory here. We need all the questions we can keep. So there's,
By the way, if you do want to go check out a great music trivia question, I don't say that just because I'm the executive producer. I say that because it's very entertaining. It's Robby and Ferg's music trivia with
and Dave's there.
I was just going to say, with Dave producing behind the controls, coming up with concepts and themes. What you think? Nikki Sixx, that would be a good one. That would be a really good one, Debbie Moeller. What do you think about Nikki Sixx, Vic?
All about it.
All right. Okay. I just think he's posting a lot of pictures of him and his baby these days. So maybe he can spare an hour, in between.
Probably be thrilled to.
Dougie Aldridge, that would be a good one. Thank you. Is somebody writing these down? Or are we gonna have to go back on the?
We'll write them down, Robbie.
There are a lot.
Just
Was
keep
that
a mental note.
Yeah.
You guys keep a mental note because Doug Aldridge. Okay, Doug Aldridge. I toured with. Again, it's way too fast. He's going to have a nice little memorable story about Doug Aldridge, but then it goes on to another memorable guy. Vic's going to kill me after this.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
What about
I
Red?
think we're setting each other up.
Doug Aldridge played in Hurricane, and back in the day, I think I said it in the live stream today. I talked about Electric Angels a couple times. And Electric Angels got to play with some really high level guitar players. Definitely, they forced me to, or inspired me to become a better guitar player because the first band that we toured around with Electric Angels and did a U.S. tour was Danger Danger. And Andy Timmons was the guitar player in that. So if you guys guitar players out there know who Andy Timmons is, he's an amazing player. The second band that Electric Angels went on tour was Doug Aldridge, who played in Hurricane at the time, who had I saw Carrie Kelly up there, but this was Kelly Hansen was the singer of that band, who now currently sings in the band Foreigner. Huh? Do I know my trivia? All right, so there you go.
Yeah.
But, and you're right. We are teetering a little bit too much music trivia right now.
How about Reb Beach?
Red Beach would be a great one. Actually, you know what? Red Beach has the funniest stories of all time. Unbelievable. I just go ask Alice Cooper if there's any guitar player that Alice would want in the band just to tell stories. He would choose Red Beach. I guarantee you. Reb or Kane, I think, because he likes the way Kane is. Who has their headphones on and way too loud or not doing it? Because I hear the echo. Is it me?
It's you.
Shit. All right. It might be. Or am I just hearing voices in my head? Friday's trivia was so funny. Naomi. No. Bianca's having her own she's having her own autograph signing session after being in the chat all day. She was crying. Man, you're making the girls cry.
We were I can't even describe what happened. And by the way, Robby, it has started to get out. People are starting to ask what the scores are.
Well, look, we were going back and forth so much. It was just three guys from England just absolutely going at each
Crushing
other. And we completely forgot to see the scores at the end of the show. We didn't even do. Yeah, it just became something else.
Fun.
Literally, by the end of that show, we were laughing so hard. The comments were all like smiley faces. I don't think anyone involved in Friday's show came away with that without just aching fully from laughing. And it wasn't until 10 minutes after that we realized we never actually gave the scores. So
no, and just because we didn't give the scores, Stefan Adika, it doesn't mean you can take our show. Okay? Just putting this out there now.
You know what? I think that's a great suggestion, by the way. Just so you know, I'm just putting it out there. But there's only one person that can get to Lizzie on this screen. There's only one person that has the connections that has who? Give you a short little clue. Man, there's so many good comments. I want to get to them all because there's a lot of great. Damon Johnson would be good. I'm looking at John Norum did you already put that up? I'm not sure if you did, because John Norum plays in the band Europe. But and I was just talking about John Norum today because at our filming studio next door, and this is a true story, Europe rehearses next door to where we're going to film the official System 12 guitar method, right? But so apparently they can't rehearse there anymore because when they do rehearse, they make so much noise. They are so loud that the entire building nobody can do their work. Nobody can do their jobs or anything like that. So apparently, and they've tried to get them to use in-ears. Anton, who's helping us with the filming of the System 12, he said that he was talking to one of the techs and they were saying, well, can't you get them to do in-ears, because that's what we do in our rehearsal studio, and it works out and everything's fine and we all still get together but we can hear everybody loud. They go, yeah, everybody's on board except one guy, just one guy is not into it. Wait, no, it was John Norum. That was my joke. I was a lead up to a joke. So there you go. You like that?
Yeah, I loved it.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think we have some breaking news. I know where Robby's YouTube money's going.
Where's
Paying
that?
for comments like this.
Oh, I like it. Robbie Miller. Well, he did. It's fair game because he did me. Yeah. Trust me.
Wow, that's even more breaking news.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's that English dry humor.
Here's a good suggestion. Wait a second.
That should be good.
Donny Osmond.
Osmound. That's
Osmound.
That's an actual porno star. I've rented a lot of his films.
Rented.
On VHS.
Do you even
Roxie's still rocking the VHS porn.
Rented.
That's like something that really shows your age when you say you rented porn.
But not only renting, right? So do you guys, everyone here will remember this on the screen, and most people in the comments will. We're not that far out yet. But do you remember when you had to rent a VHS of any film? Each store would have like a certain amount of copies. And if they were all out, you went on a waiting list. And you came back next week when someone else had watched it. You couldn't just download it and stuff. And all the things we used to do to just watch a film, it's crazy.
Here's a good question for the chat. What was the last VHS rental you had? Can you remember? And honestly, everyone for the panel right now, or for the team, everyone that's on the screen, on this beautiful screen with an amazing background. I love it, Vic. What was the last VHS movie you rented? Chris Wise, good suggestion, Kinga. Can you remember?
I know.
All right.
Oh, Robby knows.
Because it's the only one I ever rented.
Was it Frozen 1?
No, it wasn't.
There was about 18 Saw movies, so it couldn't have been Saw 1.
No. It was the second Bill and Ted movie. It was Bill and Ted's. What would it be, Scotty? Bogus
Journey.
The one with the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Bogus Journey.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't remember how far back I know it was a blockbuster because it had to have been in Los Angeles, back somewhere in the early aughts.
Oh, this is just a couple of weeks ago. This is just a couple of weeks ago.
No. I can tell you the last movie that I paid for on Apple Tunes.
Okay.
No, Apple. I rented. I told you guys to go see The Gentleman. Is Guy Ritchie's last film. I think I told you guys all last week. Did anybody watch it? Did anybody?
I watched it before you.
Okay. Did you dig it?
Yeah, it's good.
Awesome. Oh my God.
I got to check out that new Beastie Boys video that's on Apple TV.
Oh, I want to check that out too. There's Robert. Corvette Summer. Is that with Mark Hamill? That's with Mark Hamill, right? Nice one. You want to tell us the storyline of that one, Scotty?
I can't remember. I just know it was Mark Hamill right around the time the first Star Wars movie came out in like 78, maybe.
Oh,
something like that. I don't know.
You know what? We are so in a haze. There was a transition period between VHS and just basically downloading movies on Apple Tunes. There was DVDs.
Yeah.
I forgot about the whole thing of DVDs. Was basically like the DAT tape of, or like the mini disc of technology. It was like kind of in between the laser disc, if you will, between vinyl and then CDs, right? Remember everybody had to have a mini disc or a laser disc or something like that?
I remember mini disc. Yeah.
Man, there's so many great suggestions, by the way. Everybody, you know what? It's not that I'm asking the great questions for the chat. You guys are just giving great answers. You're saying Orianthe. So we have to keep a list. We'll
go back over these comments.
What if we confuse?
I don't think you can. You need to write them down because they'll go away.
They will go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. What if we flip-flopped the movies for the guests and I had Sling Blade on as a guest for In the Trenches?
Yeah.
Talk to Chuck. Maybe you could hook him up.
Yeah. Maybe it is Chuck. Maybe Chuck is Sling Blade, and that's in.
No, but Chuck and Billy Bob.
This is really distracting, Dave.
No, Dave is acting like he's working. That's like the sound of someone would act like when they're working.
Sorry, I was just sending you guys
writing down notes, you guys.
I was just sending you guys a thing. Basically, you can see the comments afterwards. There's just a certain way to do it. But I didn't think that was particularly interesting, so I thought I'd do it in a message.
Did you break it up into chapters?
But can you just do a slightly less irritating rhythm?
Okay.
I quite like triplets.
I didn't need that message to have a table of contents. All right. No, it sounded like it was a real written book. I know it's going to be a bestseller.
It sounded angry, actually.
It did. I think someone's angry at me for you said I was calling you out in the show. I wasn't. I didn't mean to.
No, he said he would have nightmares of 3 Roxies.
I did say that. I did say that. Yeah.
That was funny. Hey,
but
Liz.
who here wouldn't? Who here wouldn't?
Oh.
Yeah, who here wouldn't? Angel Renee wouldn't. She'd think, you know what?
Bianca is the only one that would.
Easy guest, Keith Richards. Why can't we? Hey, Vic.
We've actually turned him down.
Who? That's why we have British people.
He's not tech savvy.
That's why we have Brits on the team. You know what? Americans can't be that quick. They don't have that wit. They're not that quick. Actually, comedians are. They are. But no, I picked the wrong one. It was Liz's. Rob Zombie would be great, and he would be.
Be fantastic.
Oh my God! Now you want to just get liquor on here. He just wants Jonathan Dan. It's actually Jonathan Daniel, but Jonathan Daniel is my old bass player in Electric Angels, who is now a very successful manager, and he manages bands such as Green Day, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy,
Train
Love, Train, not Trainwreck like what our show has become at this point, but Train. Yeah, so he would be a good one, Richard. Thank you very much, man.
Hey, Ryan, I was thinking about the song that Dave did the video for with you and the Goon Squad for Jimmy, and you hadn't mentioned yet about the like reminding people to go back and watch that In the Trenches when you did an interview with Jimmy. That wasn't too long ago.
No, it wasn't. That was over the summer, and actually,
and that was a really good episode.
It's really
Officer Burkholder was the director. She was the DP. She was a director of photography on that entire thing, and I felt bad because she had to hold the iPhone in a steady position for like almost an hour. So yeah, but then again, I told her she should have just used her body cam. It would have been easier. And then arrested him afterwards. Teddy Zigzag. Oh my God. Well, so anyway, to just wrap up that last thought, go check out Jimmy Webb's interview that I did with him on In the Trenches. It's a heartfelt one, especially now. And but he says a lot of great things, a lot of positive, super positive person right there. So there you go. And by the way, that last, if you can put it up, that last comment of Teddy Zigzag, because do you have any personal experiences with Teddy Zigzag? Any of you on the screen?
Not really. I met him very briefly at NAMM this year. EJ introduced me to Gilby Clarke, and Teddy was playing keys. So very quick hello, but then I saw him play keys with Gilby. Incredible player. And of course, I saw him on the Brutally Live DVD back when I first watched that. So...
Well, I got to tell you, Gilby Clarke, because Teddy and I played together in Alice's Cooper bands, and then he's obviously played on a lot of my solo records and band records. He played on Peace, Love, and Armageddon. Plus, Teddy Zigzag played the keyboards on California Man, which is on the Imagine Your Reality album, which Robin Zander, which was one of the sort of suggestions that I saw in the chat, because I have my readers on and I'm reading, but Robin Zander was a suggestion. So he sang on California Man. Teddy Zigzag played keyboards, and Seven played drums, and I played some guitar. So yeah, there you go. There's that story. I met Teddy ZZ at the 2002 at the after show. That sounds like a Alice Cooper after show, right, Fedrock? By the way, Fed, all our thoughts are with you right now, and we hope you're feeling better. We're glad you made it out to the show. Thank you very much. And we are going to start heavily promoting the old In the Trenches live stream for Tuesday with Guy Griffin. And that's happening this Tuesday. Guy Griffin from the Choir Boys, of course, is going to come on the In the Trenches live stream, and hopefully all you guys are there. And by the way, if I haven't said it 100 times already, if you are now just tuning in and you'd like to get any sort of updates, please subscribe to the channel right now that you are watching. There's a little square there, or there's a follow button, or there's a bell. I don't know. There's so many different things YouTube tries to do with us. We're just trying to get into the algorithm. If we get into the YouTube algorithm, smooth sailing. But right now we're we're like you guys. We're in the chat. Yeah, we're treading water. We're in the trenches basically. There's Mark D. Ryan, Teddy and I did an open mic years ago. Good time. Did you guys do like open mic like comedy, or you just did open mic jam and improv, jazz improvisation? I'm telling you, every single night for Teddy at the Baked Potato, every single Tuesday night, he had a thing called the Screaming Cocktail Hour. That was open mic for him. It was it was his show, and he was completely dominating comedy, music, entertainment. Yeah. So, hey, folks, if you have any questions, now's the time to pop up. Should we
invite people on?
Yeah, let's invite some people in the studio. If you want to come in just to say hello, because we're going to not go for too long today. I think I was happy with the show. Vic, welcome back, by the way. Great job. You're back in green. Good job. It was, by the way, if we haven't said it enough, thank you so much for contributing to our Kickstarter campaign. It is now officially done, but doesn't mean that it's officially over for you learning guitar. So if you just go on to ryanroxie.com and hit that little button, or send us an email to that address right there, system12guitarmethod@gmail.com, and just say, I want to learn guitar, you will get in and we'll explain. It's all a lot of the same. It's the same tiers. They took out a few of the tiers, but the same tiers as the Kickstarter campaign. And you can be learning guitar basically tonight or tomorrow, whenever one of us returns your email. So check it out. Who do we have in the studio? Should we get someone that we haven't had on for a couple episodes? Joanna, there she is. What's up? What's happening? Can you hear us?
Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
I can kind of hear you guys.
There
Hello.
you are.
Uh-oh.
Hear me?
Can't hear us. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
real well.
Yeah.
Turn your phone sideways. It's always a little bit tricky now when you have yourself a cell phone, but it's okay.
Hold on.
Don't worry. We'll get you back on, John. Okay. Let's see if she has her aviator headphones on, and say welcome there. Oh, she doesn't. She's going. No, Liz the vampire.
No, I don't.
You started
My
it all
phone's
good.
awesome.
There you go. That's perfect. That looks good. Well,
Oh, there you go. My phone's lagging really bad for some reason. I don't know why.
that's all right.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Vic.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome, guy. You're looking good. Hi, everybody. Scotty.
Hey, how you doing? Hey.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I
Liz.
haven't gave Scotty or Dave any love yet for donations, but
It's cool.
I will
It's all
eventually.
good. It's all good.
I can't believe it's been 10 weeks already.
Is that crazy or what?
It is, and we're open back up here in Maryland, which is like crazy, really crazy. The town's gone ballistic, and yeah.
Well,
So
stay
every-
safe.
Now, when you say it's gone ballistic, when you say, Liz, when you say it's gone ballistic, does that mean there's nobody social distancing? Everybody's packed up together?
Pretty much, yep. Yeah,
right.
pretty much. Traffic gone crazy, people being stupid, the whole deal.
I think people were just waiting for the time where they could go back to start yelling at people, because there was actually a really nice couple-week period of time where everybody was kind of cool with each other. Now it's like, yeah. I'm just curious with Scotty, how is Detroit doing? Because Detroit's always been that sort of tough city. At least the impression of Detroit is a bit tough. How are the people's vibes around Detroit these days?
It was during the thick of it. We were like number 3 and then like 4 in the nation with the most cases. And it was pretty rough because there's a lot of people that are being really good, like staying home, or if they go out, they've got their masks, their gloves. And then there's a contingency of people that just don't give a shit. And they're out there like they don't believe it's real, or they think it's a violation of their rights to have to wear a mask. So there's a lot of divided people here right now.
Yeah. I mean, the whole wearing the mask thing is like, dude, if you don't want to wear the mask and you don't want to be publicly shamed for it, then just go
out.
Yeah.
Or just go do your own thing, like in a field, and you can go outside. It's not, you're helping other people possibly and yourself. So there you go.
There's
I don't go ahead.
we have people that like to wear masks or gloves while they're driving their vehicles or they're on their bicycle or something. It's like, really, you're not around nobody. You're in your own vehicle. Like, what the hell?
Well, no, they're just robbing banks. I mean, they basically just those are just called
I like that one.
thieves. That's all. Hey, Eric Dover, how you doing?
Hey, Eric.
So Liz, I'm gonna get Andy on the screen next. So I'm gonna say hey to this week, but we'll see you next week, okay? And thanks for always supporting. Liz has been with us since week 1, I believe, as a lot of you guys have that are in the chat. I see y'all, and I saw Eric Dover sitting back watching. Hey man, how you doing, buddy? Eric Dover would be an amazing person to have on in the trenches. I mean, he actually, huh? Did that say good? All right. I don't know what's happening now.
What are you talking about?
I was just talking about Eric Dover coming on the show. I heard someone say can't. So, and then I saw Andy go away, and he's not on anymore.
How about this, Andy?
Well, we can get. Oh, you can also get Robert. Hey, Andy, what's going on, buddy?
It's going great. It's going great. Everything has been changing, and lots of people going out now. And week 10, going strong, Ryan.
Well, week 11 is going. This episode goes to 11. We have the concept already sort of formulating in our head. I like the ideas that the chat put forward with a possible Spinal Tap song. I think I know how I'm going to put that together. We'll see if we can make it a reality. But how's it going with the guitar playing? I know you're part of the Roxie Guitar Army. How's it going?
It's going amazing. It's exactly everything I was hoping for, and the details that you put on playing the songs and just changing the fingers, it's good. From like an intermediate guitar player perspective, I get to like look at all the things that you do with your fingers from different angles, and like especially different techniques. I've been loving it. Thank you.
Well, thanks, man. Thank you for that. Wow, that was almost as good of a sort of an advert as we had Guy Griffin coming on for In the Trenches. I love it. We'll have to have you on more, Andy. But hey, I'm going to say hey to you right now as we get. I see Rob is on the screen, so hey, next time I will see you in the trenches there. Did you give him the hook?
Boom.
Yeah, but you know he didn't even get the chance to have the pleasure of seeing himself get the hook. Himself. You had me on the screen.
And
there's Rob. By the way, this is the man.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, so just so you guys know, a little backstory on Rob, in case everybody on the screen doesn't know this, or all of you beautiful people in the chat. Rob, right there, and I don't need to be full screen. This is definitely something I'll fit in a little square in. I'm fine with that. Thank you, because I want people to see Rob. In fact, if anybody should be full screen, it should be this guy while I introduce him. He's the man. When you see the picture of me with that beautiful. He actually calls it a Roxie burst, kind of a cherry burst. It's a cherry burst sparkle 339. Vic, I think you have a picture of that. Can you put that up, please?
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I would really like for you to see it, and I know Rob would too. But no, I think you took the friggin' picture.
Yeah, isn't it the photo we use for everything?
Yeah, it's a photo that we kind of use for everything. If you go and look at it, it's the 339 cherry burst, but he calls it a Roxie burst. This is the man who painted it, who made it. This is Rob right there, and I can never pronounce his last name, so that's Rob. Hello.
Displaying my quarantine look for the first time in public.
Well, is it quarantine or just single white Chuck Garrick fam?
No, actually, I'm trying to give Chuck a run for his money with a beard. So, you know.
I understand. I like it. I mean, I just feel it doesn't really balance out the screen because there's we have more hair on the face on the entire screen than not right now.
Exactly. I wonder if I can get it transplanted to the top of my head. Then I'll be in great shape.
Well, you're in Nashville now. Rob's
Yes,
working
sir.
for Rob is working for Gibson Guitars, which you guys all out there in the chat and you guys on the screen, you all know how much I love Gibsons. How is it going these days? Are you back to work 100% or what's happening?
We're slowly integrating back in. I got word a couple days ago that I'll be back in next week. So I'm actually in the Murphy lab now. So I'm doing all of the I'm doing the aged and relic guitars, and of course
that's cool.
Of course I actually get special requests for glitter jobs on certain guitars, as many have seen Chuck's new bass. That was one of our little joint ventures. So I was really proud of that one also. But the Roxie Burst definitely is number one.
Thank you, man. But actually the one that you just did for Chuck on that Firebird, that was sort of a silverish sparkle. What do you call that finish?
That was a straight up silver glitter finish.
I love it. But you know what? Maybe we should have a special In the Trenches episode for the gearheads, because I know that Robby and Dave and especially Vic would appreciate, just something just about the gear.
That's all. I'm all about the gear. I know everything.
And if you're from Britain, gear is a completely different thing. But so Rob, tell us a little bit more about what the future is right now for Gibson. And like I said, the Tom Murphy aged stuff, that for those people that, he's in the Murphy Museum. If you guys know anything about relicing, Tom Murphy is the kind of the guy who's he's the godfather of relicing, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, he's kind of the guy that started the whole thing probably over 20 years ago, and Gibson brought him back in on a full-time basis. I guess back December, January, and I get to look at his pretty mug every day. He sits directly across from me, so I'm learning from the man himself, and I could not be in a better position.
Well, tell him one of the best guitars that I've ever been able to play is one of the Tom Murphy aged / Les Pauls that our buddy Phil Jackson Ward here in Sweden, he bought one of, I think, only 2 or 3 that were in Scandinavia. And I played that guitar on my solo records and Roxie 77 records. I played it on both Casablanca records. So, and that guitar sounds so great. And Jorn is right, with those Murphy relic finishes are gorgeous. So do you see it going to be is there ever going to be a skal? I can't see your last name. Schalch, a relic?
Schultz.
Okay, spell it.
It's on the screen.
CHALCH. It actually originated over in. It actually originated in Switzerland, believe it or not.
And Tommy Henriksen will know how to spell it. I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. Make a man spell his own name. What kind of host are you? That's horrible. Robby or Dave, do you have any questions for Rob?
I do, yeah.
I do. Robby first.
I was just going to say, when do you want to speak about the Robby burst? I can DM you after this, and anything your people need, I can just get you the color numbers and codes straight to you.
Yeah,
just let me know.
Send it on.
Yeah, good answer.
It is.
But how do you paint cynical? How do you do that?
I think
why am I on the screen?
I can find a way.
Dave R., you have a question for Rob?
Yeah. So one of the things the Murphy Lab does that's really cool is they'll do like the collector's choice stuff, where they'll take a specific guitar and then they'll copy it, like scratches and aging and all. So do you ever get requests over there where someone will bring you their own guitar, not a famous person, and say, I want you to copy this exactly so I can leave that at home and maybe take the other one out?
Oh, sure. We get that occasionally. Most of the ones that we get are going to be from famous artists. I can't,
not necessarily to be
unfortunately, I can't
released.
divulge. Yeah, not necessarily for release, but we actually just did 6 reproductions for Keith Richards right before the shutdown. So
Yeah, he
about 3
wanted
months
to be on
ago.
our show, and we told him no.
Yeah, I mean, and all he wanted to do was talk about the 6 guitars that he got, and we said, nah.
We said we don't need you, Keith. We got Rob to come and talk to us about it. He's already on.
Mark Tensizen, the studio's full. We tried to pop in. Oh, man. All right, you know what? I promise you, week 11, it's all going to be you. But I would, you know what? I have nothing to do with the studio crowding. That's all Vic's job right there.
You just keep talking to somebody. I'm going to give Rob the hook in a second.
All right, Rob. Hey,
Rob,
thank you very much, man. But I
Great seeing you guys. Good to see you back, Vic.
It's great.
Rob, appreciate it.
Great. Have a
Take
good
care.
one, Rob. You're getting the hook. See, that's a nice hook. That's a quality hook. He likes it, and he kind of gets off the fence.
Rob's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
He's a great guy.
Let's get someone that hasn't been on the show yet. I don't think James Visser has been on the show yet. Can we want to get him on real quick? Yeah.
There he is.
All right. What's up,
Hey,
James?
how's it going, guys? Hey, yeah, I'm the Chet Atkins guy. Remember me? Chet Atkins. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, I got
Atkins guy.
Yeah. Hey, I got a comment or the first time I saw Ryan was in 1996 DTE in Detroit. You guys are opening for the Scorpions. Alice was opening for the Scorpions, and I remember I was 22 at the time. I remember you really popped on stage. You had the aviators with the gold.
Yeah, it was my best attempt at being Noel or Liam Gallagher, whatever at that time. I
saw
could ever.
that show.
But what I thought was cool was you were a little you had shorter hair. You were a little. I think Red Beach was the other guitar player, but I could tell right away you had your own thing. You know, it wasn't. You weren't doing the 80s flinging the hair around thing, and you were kind of you had a cool vibe. And that's it. I love Red Beach too, but I could just tell right away you had you kind of gave a little spark to the band, I thought, back then. So that was the first time I saw you back in '96. I do have a gear question actually.
Go ahead.
I got this Les Paul. And I'm doing this from my phone, so I can't do the picture real well. But I was told I bought it in Maryville, Indiana, at Guitar Center, and I bought it into a guitar shop. It was about a $2,500 guitar back then. It's got kind of an aged look to it, but the serial number on it starts with a G, and so some guy told me that's what he called a Guitar Center Les Paul, and kind of. Have you ever heard of that, Ryan? Or what does that mean exactly?
Usually, with the Gibson on the back of the headstock, and this is a little secret for everyone. Up until quite recently, there's a 5. You look at the first 5 numbers. All right. You look at the first 5 numbers, and if someone's just flushing a toilet, that's okay though. And then you take the first number, and then you take the last number, and that's the year. So if it says the first number is 0 and the last number is 9, that means it's a 2009. Then the middle 3 numbers are what day of the year of that year it was made. So if it says 250, it means it was made on the 250th day of the 2009. So that's that 5. So look at the number afterward. And you see that.
It's a 05073. So does that mean it's 03?
Yeah, no, that's a whole different serial number format. So I'm guessing yours is like a custom shop sort of thing, like an aged one.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to see if I can show it to you.
Yeah. So generally, So generally, what will happen is those guitars will have an R at the start. So mine is R60405. It's a 57 reissue. So R was 5 numbers, and what was the number?
It's 05073, and then it's got a G in front of it, the first letter.
Right. So the G, basically, some retailers, when they do limited runs, we were looking at doing this ourselves. They can have their own serial number created. So if the guy told you that's a Guitar Center one, that tells me that Guitar Center at some point have said to Gibson, okay, we will do, I don't know, 100 of these guitars, and our serial number will be G. There's a retailer in England, they called Guitar. Their limited run batch, instead of an R, it says GG. We were looking at doing one. It was going to have our shop's initials. It didn't happen in the end. So the story checks out. I mean, it sounds like that is why yours has a different number.
Is that a bad thing though? He kind of made it sound like, oh, Guitar Center. That's like, is that a bad thing or?
It just means it's from that. There you
Order.
go. There you go. Custom Rock
What's
Guitar Center.
What's the number again? I'll give him a call and we'll ask.
Wow.
I didn't catch it.
You just got too deep into the gear talk, dude. We're gonna have to it. Actually,
No,
you know
I'm
what?
Sorry.
I'm gonna get the hook, right?
No. Before another internet show pops up that's just about guitar gear, I think we got to work on our own right now because honestly, it's in production. Just so if anyone else is listening out there, we are producing a show about extreme guitar gear, and we're just gonna go down the rabbit hole
with Dave and Rob.
With Dave and Rob and no, but thank you for coming on. But actually, the reason why I had to cut you out, James, a little bit is because I'm on Swedish time. I'm already cutting into dinner time, and I know a lot of you guys are it's just starting your day, but I can't thank you enough for coming on the program and just we will talk about more gear talk. And actually the best place to talk about it is on our private Facebook page, which I mentioned in the live stream. But Dave, there it is. Wow, you're quick today, dude. There it is. That's the Roxie Guitar Army Area 77. You get into that page if you're an RGA member at a certain level. I think it's $70 or above or something like that. So just check it out. And if you're interested in it, I know that Dave loves that type of stuff. And Robby and Dave and myself all put up videos and extra bonus material for that exact reason. Go ahead, Dave.
That is a perfect segue. There is someone in the backstage who I wanted to get on if we have the time.
We have a couple minutes left. Yeah.
She's a member of the group, and she posted a video herself, like today or yesterday.
Okay.
So that was a perfect little segue. It's Hannah. Can we bring Hannah on?
All right, Hannah. Hey, Hannah, what's happening?
Hey.
Oh, she's got the perfect
Can you hear me
headphones,
okay?
but do they work?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, we can hear you good.
That's good.
Do you have a question for any of us, or are you just happy to be here with us, hanging in the gear talk, in the gear zone?
It's great listening to all the gear talk, but I did have a question.
Yes.
So I wrote it down because it's a bit of a long one. What are some of the earliest songs you can remember hearing, even if you can only remember like one line from the song?
I lost that.
Okay, the question that she had was, what are some of the earliest songs that we can remember? Even if I just have one or two lines, and this is quite funny, but because that name came up earlier in the chat, Donny Osmond. One of my first big bands was the Osmond Brothers that I was turned on to, and I thought they were rock and roll. They're a big
Crazy
Mormon,
Horses.
a big Mormon family. Crazy Horses is one of the albums that does sound like it's actually, if you listen to the album Crazy Horses, you'll think you're listening to Appetite for Destruction, certain songs. I'm not joking to you. I'm not joking. There's a song, the Crazy Horses itself, the singer somehow has an Axl vibe, or Axl has his vibe. And I'm not sure what Osmond brother that was, but the song I'm thinking of that I can remember, and they called it Puppy Love. It was called Puppy Love.
Axl Osmond.
No, that was Donny Osmond, and I dedicate Puppy Love to Vic and all his dog porn that he posts all the time. So boom.
I love my dog. I'm gonna put an overlay of my dog on there.
So anybody else have a song that they remember? Doggy Style?
Oh boy. I don't necessarily have like a line, but a song that I remember learning first on the guitar was the opening riff to Wild Thing, and I thought that was really, really cool. So that was like my first.
Sam Kinison version?
What's that?
Sam Kinison version?
I can't hear you, bro.
My one is my one of those for Robby is "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. Now this is honestly how I started learning guitar. I was sat on my dad's couch, just literally took his guitar off the wall and was pissing around with it, honestly. And he eventually got sick of it and said, either learn to play it or put it down. And I, being a smart-ass teenager, said, okay, well, teach me what we're listening to. And we were listening to Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. And true to his word, he sat there and he made me learn Wish You Were Here, start to finish. And then a few weeks later, I came to him and said, show me how to play this one. And that's how it began. So Wish You Were Here is my one.
Nice.
Well, hey, folks, I'm going to get the hook. I'm not getting the hook from Vic. I'm getting the hook from Bianca. It's seriously a hook. She said, if you want dinner, you have to go now. So, I mean, you guys are more than welcome to carry on. I love it. But I'm going to have to bail. I love you guys. Why not? No. You guys are the show. You guys today, this was such a group effort. Obviously, when I do the live stream, it's me. Let's talk more about me.
Okay,
but
well,
I mean,
maybe I'll give you the hook.
Well, that's fine. But Hannah, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you very much. I want you guys to chill out. I want you guys to close it out today because I'm gonna cut out. I will just tell everybody that's in the chat, I will see you on Tuesday at the next In the Trenches podcast because we have Guy Griffin on from the Choir Boys. That's another really good episode to watch. You don't want to miss it. Again, I want to thank everybody that's on this team. Very, very special to me. Everyone here that's on screen is part of the Roxie Guitar Army, whether it's Hannah that's learning guitar from us or everybody that's helping out with the entire effort. Again, it wouldn't happen without you guys. So if you want to hear more about us, just subscribe to the channel. And until next time, until next week's, and probably until a half an hour when I'm done with dinner, then I can start, texting all you guys about what's going on. Thank you. It's been nice seeing you. Vic, you did a great to see you. Did I get the hook?
You got the hook, and then I knew you kept talking.
Oh man, that was great.
All right.
That's so nice.
Have a good day.
You guys, you know what? You guys close it out. I'm out of here. I'm removing myself from the actual studio. I'm going to give myself the hook.
There you go.
Vic got to it first.
Hey, Hannah. What you don't realize is you're now the host.
Yeah, so you now have to host
it over
the
to
show.
Hannah.
Oh no!
Oh, and she's frozen.
She's frozen. She's
That's
frozen.
your favorite movie, Robbie.
No, it's Frozen 2, Vic. Don't be silly.
Oh, right.
Shall we? Let's just see how quickly everyone logs off now he's
I was
gone.
going to say, I think our egos are going to suffer when we see the numbers plummet.
Yeah.
No, let's get into the real talk now, guys. Now that the floor's open. I wasn't going to say that, Vic. How dare you?
Oh, now that what? I missed that.
We want Scotty to say something.
I think we should have one more question, one last question, and then we close it out.
Okay.
So if anyone's got one last question.
Okay, I am gonna.
Studio's empty.
I'm gonna bump Anna, and we'll bring on Jade.
Hey Jade.
What's going on, Jade?
How you doing?
Let's have
Hello.
one more question.
Oh gosh. Just chilling right now. So how's y'all's quarantine going? What's
It's
going
good.
on with you?
We're doing this full time.
Crazy.
How's yours going, Jade? How's yours going?
Boring.
Boring.
Sitting here watching this, it's keeping me entertaining.
That's
I'm
great.
so glad you said that entertaining bit at the end, because originally what you said was boring sitting here watching this, but then you added it's keeping me entertained. So I love that. I love that.
Keeping me entertained.
Have you
We're doing different things.
Have you eaten all your candy yet from your graduation?
Yeah, congratulations.
Getting there.
You getting there?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jade's getting the love.
Just don't eat all of it too fast because you want to keep all your teeth. You don't want to rot
Yeah,
your teeth.
Jade, what did you do for your graduation photos?
1 second. What?
This is a question for Vic.
You want to stay here?
Oh, bring on Stanley. Well, he's.
You want to go get coffee?
Oh, no, he's left the room. I thought he was here.
You don't want me to go with you?
Very dangerous comment from Troy.
Oh, I'll
No, I'm
definitely play that game.
Yeah, well.
Let me start. Let me start
Okay.
that one off.
We're Jade. I think we're gonna wrap things up here.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
thank you for coming on, and we will see you next week
You're-
on Goes to 11.
Yeah.
All right.
So, it's before we go, has everyone got the last thing they want to say?
I did see a question that asked when our shop was going to reopen.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are going to, like starting this Wednesday, we are going to be able to let people come and shop by appointment. So basically, if someone shows up at the door and we don't have anyone in there, we'll let them in and they can look around and try out guitars, flip through records and play Kiss Pinball or whatever.
Cool.
Well, I wanted to be sure to mention to everyone that this, if you're still interested in being part of the Kickstarter plan, since it's stopped, you can send an email to system12guitarmethod@gmail, and we're still offering a few different options for that, so you can get some details that way. You guys have anything else?
I think that was the main thing. Robby, anything?
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you on Tuesday for the Guy Griffin in the Trenches live show. And it's going to be good.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, follow us all on Instagram. Thanks for watching tonight, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's going to be it. We're going to close this out without the man himself.
That's really weird.
Love you all.
Comfortable.
Love you all. Close it, Vic.
Thank you. Cheers. I'm going to let you stay on.